What up? What up? It's been a second since I live streamed, right? Or was it the other day? Oh yeah, it was the Apex card. Already forgot about that shit. But I'm more streaming. While I watch this interview, I'm streaming so you guys can watch me watch this Jon Jones interview. Where apparently he's dissing Aspinall. And he's apologizing to Dana White for how he handled the Aspinall situation. I'm like, oh, okay. Alright. You know, so I got the interview up for shits and giggles, for some inspiration. This has got to be hilarious. These guys are already kissing Jon Jones' ass, I could tell. They're asking him about Gable Stevenson, fighting Pierre at the White House. Oh, we got to hear about that. Let's see what Jon Jones got to say.
Team, I feel like I really do understand you, your past, your future, who you are, what you've been through, and who you've come from.
Desktop audio.
I respect you a lot, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I respect you too, man. Yeah, we have great times on set.
We do have the best times.
Yeah, dude, you're
let's
creative
get
mind
that off.
with the skits that.
There we go. Oh, he's talking about dirty boxing and Gable Stevenson. All right, let's get straight to it. Okay, so he really thinks Gable Stevenson's going to be heavyweight champ, huh?
So it's really a blessing. I'm just grateful.
That'll be interesting if Gable Stevenson gets to the UFC after he's done with dirty boxing. Maybe that's what's warming him up.
So something I want to talk to you about is the big card you keep talking about that you want to be on, the White House card, right? Yeah. Who do you want?
The White House card, huh? Now he wants to be on the White House card. That's why he's kissing ass again. He wants to be on that White House card. But as bad as he wants to be on that White House card, if they said the only opponent we can offer you is Aspinall, he'll change his tune. What up, everyone in the chat? Just watching the new Jon Jones interview that just dropped, where he's talking about Piera, he's dissing Aspinall. He's sucking up to Dana White. Let's hear what he's got to say.
You want for that? You want Pereira? I like the fight Alex Pereira at the White House. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants Piera. Yeah.
I feel like he's a household name in America.
I feel like he's been respectful. Man, Jon Jones still doesn't know how to sell a fight, does he? How is that a criteria of your opponent? Let's hear that one more time. His first reason for wanting to fight Piera is he's incredibly respectful. Johnny boy, John. Just think about that, how backwards that is. I want to punch this guy in the face more than the other guys because he's incredibly respectful. I'll never get that one. I want to punch this guy. Out of all my coworkers, I want to punch this guy in the face because he's incredibly respectful. Can't hear it. Oh yeah, I'm just listening to it for inspiration. I don't think you guys want to hear it. If you want me to turn it up or turn on desktop audio, let me know. Let me know, but I'm just rattling off what he's saying back to you guys. But yeah, Jon Jones, I want to fight Piera because he's incredibly respectful. I don't get it from his point of view or the fans' point of view. If I have a bunch of coworkers and I get to fight any of them, why would I choose the most respectful person? If anything, I don't want to fight him because he's incredibly respectful. But not only that, from the fans' point of view, why would we want to watch two friends? Especially with all this fixing talk going on. Why would we want to watch two people that are buddy-buddy that are probably going to sell us on a fix? Allegedly. Apparently, I gotta say allegedly, you know. Allegedly, you know. Why would we want to watch two buddies fighting? They could so fix it if they're friends, right? Let's just hear John continue. I'm sure a lot of you guys already seen this John Jones interview on the No Scripts podcast. What the fuck is that? Has anyone ever heard of that? The No Scripts podcast. The irony. At a time like this, someone comes out with a podcast called the No Scripts podcast. That's the complete opposite of what's going on right now. Allegedly. The No Scripts podcast. During the UFC fixing scandal, we have a podcast with John Jones on it called the No Scripts podcast. Like that's what he did with Cyril Gahn. No script. Bullshit. But yeah, dude, John, we don't want to watch you fight someone who's respectful to you. We want to watch you fight a huge heavyweight who's going to fucking drill his fist through your skull. That's what we want to watch. Why would we want to watch two friends fight each other?
I feel like he's a household name in America, in MMA. Everybody knows who he is. He's a champion. He's in the conversation of being one of the greatest fighters of all time. And I just think it would be a blockbuster event. I think the whole world would come out. I've beat many Brazilians over the course of my life.
Oh, another reason why John Jones wants to fight Pereira. I beat a bunch of Brazilians in the course of my life. Okay, you already checked that box. Let's move on. You didn't beat a Cameroon champion, and you didn't beat the English champion. Glad your vids popped up in algorithm. And yeah, the allegedly. Everyone has to do is annoying as fuck, but better safe than sued. Yeah, I guess so, right? I guess so. We gotta say allegedly, even though I didn't do that in my last video, you know? In the UFC fixing fights, but I'll start saying it just in case. Allegedly. With a couple winks in there. Yeah, allegedly. Allegedly. But you know what's not allegedly? The FBI is looking into it, but yeah. We're gonna say allegedly, but we all really know what that means. But yeah, shout out to Arrogant Savage. I'm glad I popped up in the feed. I just had to live stream this John Jones interview that I'm watching. I'm getting a kick out of this shit. He's saying, here's how he's selling us on the Pereira fight. He's incredibly respectful. That makes me not want to watch. I don't want to watch two buddies fighting. And then he said, he's Brazilian and I already beat a bunch of Brazilian champs. That makes me not want to watch the fight even more. Let's say John Jones beat 5 Brazilians during his championship reign. Why would I want to watch you beat a 6th? Let's move on. Let's fight the English champ, which I know will never happen. Or, you missed out on it already. Can't happen. The Cameroon champ. Never beat any of those. Wow, John Jones's reasoning for wanting to fight Pereira is anything but blockbuster. That makes people not want to watch.
It's the people that I beat the most. And I feel like either way that fight would go, no one loses in that fight.
And then he just said about the Pereira fight, damn, this interview's already pissing me off. He said either way that fight would go, what'd he say? No one would lose in that fight. That's the problem. I want someone to lose. I don't know what that means by John Jones. Either way that fight goes, no one's going to lose in that fight. Let me hear it one more time. What does that even mean? No one loses in that fight. Oh, he's saying all the money they're going to make?
It generates so many millions for the sport.
Okay. The fans lose in that fight. The fans lose in that fight. The only time John Jones draws revenue is when he's faced with an opponent that we think is capable of beating him. Or there's a big rivalry. The only time John Bones Jones ever sold pay-per-views was when he fought his rival, DC. You can look up the numbers. Jones has never sold pay-per-views. He's never had big pay-per-view numbers aside from the Daniel Cormier fight. I don't know how well the Stipe fight did. Probably not that well. I don't know how well the Cyril Gane fight did. Maybe that did some numbers. The most rigged fight. Because he finally moved up to heavyweight. Allegedly rigged fight, right? Yeah. But man, I swear, last I checked, the most Jones ever sold was like 800,000 pay-per-view buys against DC. That was because they hated each other. So, we want to watch someone like a big heavyweight who's well-rounded smoke you. And that's it. Not that there's a rivalry, but we know Jon Jones can't stand Aspinall. I would pay to see that. I haven't seen whole interview, but the glazing was overwhelming by the casuals that are on the podcast host. Oh yeah, the podcast hosts. They definitely seem like casuals. Definitely an infuriating pod. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Jon Jones wouldn't agree to do a podcast unless he already has the questions before. You know what I mean? He needs the questions before the interview starts. He needs to see what you're going to ask him. And if they're softball questions and you're an influencer, he'll accept. But who agrees with me? I want to watch Jon Jones fight someone he hates, not someone who he respects. What's cool about watching two guys that respect each other? Like, I want to see the real fight, you know? Jon Jones, you're not a good guy. It's not like GSP is fighting Khabib and they both respect each other. We know Jon Jones has no respect. I want to see him in a rivalry fight. I want to see him fight Aspinall, someone who he can't stand.
There's just no reason when you have such high level people competing to respect each other.
And I think too, like when you talk about
Yeah, who are these goofs interviewing him? Who are these goofs? It's crazy. It's just people just pop up with all these podcasts nowadays. Like, who are these jabronis? They get the biggest name fighters on the show. And no one's ever heard of these NPCs before. It's amazing. Jones has a better resume than Tom, bro. Jones beat the best in his era. He's the youngest champ as well. He did beat the monsters of his time. Rampage, Rashad, Gustafsson, DC. He does have the best resume. Oh, of course he has a better resume. But that's not how, like... Yeah, I don't even think anyone's questioning that. Has anyone ever said Tom has a better resume? The only complaint we have about Jon Jones' resume is he's never fought a well-rounded heavyweight champion. He's never fought a in their prime, huge, someone who's bigger than Jon Jones, taller than Jon Jones, weighs significantly more than Jon Jones, well-rounded heavyweight champ. That's not on his resume. The only two people that fit that criteria of being a huge, well-rounded heavyweight champion, there's only two names, Francis Ngannou and Tom Aspinall. That is our complaint about his resume. We don't want to see all these middleweights on his resume. It already happened, but we wanted to see legit heavyweights. You know? He beat Glover as well, another beast. I remember that was in 2014. But that was in 2014 he beat Glover, yeah. I mean, it's damn near we're over a decade later, right? And a decade later, he's not giving us the fights we want, you know? You talking like he's scared of Tom. Tom looked bad against Gane, to be honest. Jon also has a better criminal resume than Tom. Well, he's scared of something. He doesn't want to get in the cage with Tom. He's definitely scared of Tom. I don't know if he's more scared about him getting knocked out on live aired pay-per-view and the fight always on replay everywhere he goes? Maybe he's scared about that. Maybe he's scared about having an official loss on his resume. He could be scared about that. Maybe he's scared about having Tom Aspinall have the win over him. Maybe he would rather have Pierre. He's scared of something. You know? He's scared of something. I'm not saying he's scared of taking the punch, but he's definitely scared of the result. That I could say for sure. He's scared of the result. John also got hard wrestling with Hasbulla, so his stock drops from that alone. Yeah, John Jones almost got choked out with that pillow. That is crazy. He almost got choked out with that pillow. Absolute insanity. That was a close call. That was closer than Volkanovski versus Ortega. John Jones almost went to sleep with that pillow that Hasbulla had over his face. That's how good he is. He is still at the top 11 years later. Okay, exactly. Okay, right. That's how good John Jones is. Okay, let's talk about how good John Jones is. I agree. So if you're that good, you should only be fighting opponents who have significant advantages over you. If John Jones is the best, and he's that good, I agree, then his opponent needs to be bigger than him. He needs to be younger than him. He needs to be faster than him. He needs to be more hungry than him. If John Jones is that good, which I believe he is, his opponent needs to be the toughest challenge out there. And that's Aspinall. That's Aspinall. So yeah, he is on top 11 years later. So if he's that good, I want to see the best fighter fight someone bigger than them, faster than them, younger than them, and more hungry with them. I want to see how the best fighter does when the fighter he's facing has every advantage. Against Pierre, I already know John Jones has a grappling advantage. They're the same age, so he doesn't have a youth advantage. He has a grappling advantage. They're the same age, so that cancels out. I don't like how John Jones has a grappling advantage over Pierre, and they're the same age. Let's see here. But yeah, Gane looked good against Tom. That was a close-ass round. I mean, that was a good fight while it lasted. John sucks Dana. Gane versus Jones was fixed. Mini Bean spitting facts. When I say the word allegedly, I mean for sure, 100% legitimately. Yeah, Jones versus Gane was allegedly fixed. In my eyes. Yes. But yeah, I agree. John Jones is so good, so let's see him fight someone with every advantage over him for once. I mean, my God, when Jones fought DC, he had every advantage. Let the other guy have the advantage for once, John. Jones had the height advantage over DC, the reach, the youth, the hunger probably. You know? Shit. Oh, man. But yes, yeah. Mini Bean spitting facts. I agree. But yeah, Gane looked good against Tom. I'm hyped for the rematch. I'm really hoping that they can do it like early next year. That would even be awesome for UFC 323 to end the year. That'd be awesome. Oh my, could you imagine if they added Gane versus Aspinall, the rematch, on UFC 323? That'd be crazy.
The White House and having the greatest American fighter of all time. I mean, how can you have a White House card without literally the GOAT? So it's like, this is something that can be such a...
Oh my God, these podcast guys just keep calling him the GOAT every second. All right.
Whether it's Pereira or...
Fair enough.
Obviously, we saw what happened with the Aspinall fight most recently.
Oh, he just brought up Aspinall in this interview.
You know, towards my age, are new to the sport. They never seen the John Jones of 10 years ago. The John Jones that was out there just dominating people and running through. I'm 24.
Yeah, you're not shit about me.
Man, I'm telling study you. I know, John. Let me just. Your biggest setup for
Okay. This interviewer saying I study you to John Jones. Let's see.
me watching you when you were younger. You the double leg, fake the double leg, and come up with the spinning elbow, and that was one I think the biggest moves.
Okay. Okay. This guy's a John Jones fan.
The problems, and now I mean you started perfecting your spinning back kick.
You got to start complimenting Jones to work your way to the Aspinall question.
You did it, my boy Aiden Ross, right before your last fight. You guys were live streaming, and then
He's talking about the spinning back kick.
look at
Joe Rogan convinced this podcaster that Jones invented the spinning back kick at age 37.
people talking shit online, and like, oh, you know.
Wow, this is the longest question ever. This is not even... What is this guy doing? That would be a dope end. That would be a dope end cap for the year for sure. Those podcast guys would cup the balls and stroke the shaft of John if asked. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, who knows? Maybe that already happened. They got the interview, right?
He's talking this
And there's rumors of how Nina Drama got the John Jones interview.
guy, he's dodging this guy. They haven't seen the work that you've done in the past and how dominant you've been. We know you're not ducking this guy. I mean, talk
Damn, he asked the question already.
to me about what you saw in his fight with Ghana, because Ghana looked like he was controlling the fight.
Damn, this guy, John Jones paid these guys. This guy didn't even have a question. His question was, we all know you didn't duck Aspinall. Tell me how you saw the first round playing out with Gon versus Aspinall, because Gon was winning. That's this guy's question. Oh, man. Gotta toss the salad before the Tom questions. Yeah. Yeah. If we can even call this a question. All right, let's hear. I didn't even hear this interview yet. Let's hear John Jones talk about how great Cyril Gane was doing and how he was whooping Aspinall's ass. Let's hear John Jones say it.
Yeah.
I feel it's Tom. Tom's a great athlete. But I do feel like he's a one-trick pony. I believe.
Oh, yeah, the one-trick pony comment. Okay, he's a one-trick pony. Let's hear it. John Jones just called Aspinall a one-trick pony.
His wrestling and jiu-jitsu is incredibly overrated.
Okay, so John's talking his wrestling and jiu-jitsu is incredibly overrated. Honestly, I can't say yes or no, because we haven't seen anyone put him there. I mean, he tapped out Volkov. That was pretty impressive. But if he fought John, we really would have got to see if Aspinall's a good grappler or not, right? That'd have been the perfect fight to find out how good of grappling does Aspinall have if he fought John. So I don't know how John Jones knows for sure his grappling's overrated. How does he know? What fight did he watch? Must have been an amateur fight.
He has beautiful 1-2. You know, I got to learn a lot about his patterns in his last fight. Beautiful 1-2. But that's really about it.
Okay, so okay. John Jones is saying all Tom Aspinall has is a beautiful 1-2. He's got a jab and a cross. And that's it. Man, he could have made $30 million for fighting a one-trick pony who all they have is a 1-2. That's all he's got, 1-2. Damn, John Jones missed out on $30 million. And he could have fought a one-trick pony who only has a 1-2. Damn. So if I was the interviewer, I'd be like, why didn't you take that easy 30 mil then? Or is John Jones saying he can't even defend a 1-2 anymore? Is that what John Jones is saying here? He's not capable of defending a 1-2? A jab cross?
That's the one thing that he's setting up real nice. He couldn't touch Cyril Gane at all. That's the way I felt. I felt like Gane was just getting warmed up. Gane's hands was down. He shaking his shoulder, bouncing around.
He was touching him. He was touching him.
That jab
He
too.
was he busted him open.
He was so comfortable.
I think Tom was looking for a way out, and he took it.
Oh my God. This fucking interviewer chimes in. What the hell? What a weird vibe in this interview. This guy's chimed in. He's got his legs crossed and he's like, yeah. Hold up. I've never heard this much of glazing.
That jab too.
He busted him open.
He was so comfortable.
He busted him open.
I think Tom was looking for a way out, and he took it. He needs to change his game plan.
Man,
I think Tom was looking for a way out and he took it. He needs to change his game plan. Damn, Jones paid these guys. John Jones' management team definitely paid these guys. What's his name? Abe Kawa or something? I guarantee Abe Kawa paid these guys. What kind of interview is this? And this is called the No Scripts Podcast. The irony. The No Scripts Podcast. And they keep bringing up Jones's allegedly scripted fight with Gane. That 1-2 would devastate John. Every time John talks, he contradicts himself. Exactly. Sounds like he's saying he can't defend against it. Right. Exactly. And what's funny is I've seen fighters win fights this year with just a 1-2. I think Michael Johnson won his last fight. Major underdog. All he did was throw the 1-2. Shit, yeah, he would beat John Jones with just that 1-2. I mean, think about it. All Dominic Reyes had was a pull 2. All Dominic Reyes had was a pull 2. That left hand, right? That's what John Jones told Dominic Reyes. I remember when that fight was about to happen, Jones said at a press conference or an interview, he said, all he has is that left hand. I was watching tons of tape. All I got to worry about is that left hand. And look what happened against Reyes.
and Tom, when Tom gets hurt, it's like he's like immediately incapacitated. Immediately
He shut down.
It's like you poke my eye, and then he's like immediately. There's no like.
He never tried to look. It was rag on the eye immediately.
Dude, I
Yeah.
don't
So, Curly Fry or Broccoli Boy on the right won't even let John Jones finish his fucking question or finish his statement. This guy cuts off the interviewed person more than Brendan Schaub. This guy cuts people off more than Brendan Schaub. Broccoli, haircut sitting on the right. Keeps glazing John Jones and he cuts him off mid-sentence to do it. Yeah, Gane immediately put that. Aspinall immediately got the rag over his eye. He didn't even try to survive or fight through it. Wow. Sup? What's up? John Dong, what's up? Arrogant Savage said, my favorite Dong. Sup? What's up? Sweet baby boy. We're just getting hyped over the Jones interview, man. How the hell are you, Dong? Shout out John Dong with the most interesting YouTube username in the chat. Let's keep listening.
on national TV just
Trying. He didn't try. He didn't try.
same thing with Curtis Blaze when he hurt his knee. There was no limping. There was no trying to get up. It was just like immediately.
Yep.
Who would win, Prime Dillashaw or Sean O'Malley? Ooh, that's a good fight. But I know for sure who would win. Prime Dillashaw. I'm picking Prime Dillashaw. I think he's better, but especially if he's on the EPO too. I already think he's got the skills and the grappling and the wrestling, but especially while he was on that EPO, Dillashaw is pretty skilled. Even after his prime, when he fought Corey Sandhagen, he was still hanging in there. He looked good in all his fights except, you know, the Aljo fight where his shoulder popped or whatever, right? What about Prime Dillashaw versus Merab? Prime Dillashaw versus Merab? I can't pick against Merab. I can't. Merab, he would definitely win a decision. If Dom Cruz can beat Dillashaw in a decision, coming off an injury, after some time off. I know Cruz was in his prime, but he beat Dillashaw by decision. I'm not doing MMA math, but Merab's getting better with his striking and the takedowns. Yeah. I'm going Merab. That'd be a good fight, though. Prime Dillashaw would have the best chance out of everyone on the current roster. I can't think of anyone on the current roster that would do better than Prime Dillashaw, besides Umar. John Dog is OG. Great guy to have in chat. Prime Dilly, especially on that EPO. Yeah. Prime Dillashaw. We're all in agreement on that. Merab all day. Yeah. Merab all day. Damn right. I might have to make a fantasy super fights type video and pick who would win. Appreciate it, bro. How about MVP versus middleweight Alex Pereira? Who wins that? At middleweight? I don't like Alex Pereira at middleweight. I don't like Pereira at middleweight. I'll go MVP. Pereira loses by weight cut. I don't know. I don't like middleweight Pereira. Way too skinny. When you go back and watch his middleweight fights, it's tough. He doesn't look like, you know, how McGregor looked at 145, but he looked pretty bad. Probably MVP via decision at middleweight. At light heavyweight, if they fight at 205, I'm going Alex Pereira. At 205, I think it's a wrap. But you know what's crazy? Not a lot of people talk about it. Shout out Mike Perry for beating MVP in bare knuckle. I know it's bare knuckle, but that's still striking. A lot of people say Pereira wins, but I actually think MVP would knock him out. He has the speed and unpredictability. I don't think he'll knock him out, but he has the speed and the unpredictability. He just hasn't finished anyone in the UFC yet. But shout out Mike Perry. I don't think a lot of people talk about that. Mike Perry beat Michael Venom Page in bare knuckle. That was a toss-up, though. It was a close one. What about Prime Kamaru Usman versus Fluffy Hernandez? Prime Kamaru Usman was pretty good, but Hernandez is a middleweight. Prime Usman is a welterweight. You know what? I'm going to go Usman. Because when Usman was champion, I think Fluffy Hernandez was getting beat by Kevin Holland. I think I think Kevin Holland beat Fluffy Hernandez around that time, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going Prime Usman. Plus Prime Usman, you know, his brother is like a sports scientist, or I think he works with substances, right? He works with PEDs. He would have had him on that gorilla sauce. He would have been on that I'm going Prime Usman. I think his brother is like a chemist. MVP throwing a Pokeball at a guy he KO'd is still one of my favorite moments in MMA. Made me an instant fan. Yeah, those moments on Bellator especially are rare. Even if you didn't watch Bellator, we all saw that shit. And man, pray for the guy who got that skull broken. I've never seen such a dent in someone's skull. That was insane. I've never seen anyone's skull get bashed like that. I never felt so bad for a fighter. That was crazy. And then the Pokeball, you're right. UFC, yeah, they don't let MVP be MVP, right? He doesn't get to do the flashy walkouts. I feel like the UFC doesn't really let MVP be himself. They would never let him bring a Pokeball to the octagon. Ever. My Florida homeboy, Mike Perry. He was born and bred for bare knuckle. Yeah, Florida now, right? But he's from my state, Michigan. So shout out Mike Perry. He's from my home state too. So shout out Mike Perry. He's from Flint. Yeah, I meant Prime Usman versus current Fluffy at middleweight. Why? I want to go Prime Usman. Fluffy's good. He's good. We'll see how he does. I think he might fight Strickland soon. I think Fluffy's pretty good. But still, I'm going Usman. He looked good against Hamzat. He has the cardio to keep up with Fluffy. His wrestling's good enough to keep up with Fluffy. I think Usman's a bad style matchup for Fluffy Hernandez. Usman did good against Colby Covington, a smaller version of Fluffy. Bro, that fucking skull was caved in. It was insane. That was terrifying. That was like it was like the Uriah Hall spinning heel kick KO. Yeah, they neutered MVP. Yeah, let him be corny. Let him do his WWE walkouts. Just let him. That's hilarious. I thought he was always from Florida. He's just a natural Florida man, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, raised in Flint, Michigan, and that migrated to that sun and made him even crazier. The heat made him even crazier now that he's in Florida. What about Prime Usman versus Hamzat at welterweight and middleweight? Prime Usman versus Hamzat at welterweight and middleweight. Well, we saw out of Prime Usman fight Hamzat. He did pretty good at middleweight. He did pretty good. Prime Usman versus Hamzat. Damn, that's tough. That's tough. Maybe Usman. Usman was catching up as that fight was going. Hamzat won over 3 rounds. But you said Prime Usman. That means it would have been a 5-rounder. I don't think Hamzat could have controlled Usman like that. Like he did to Dreykus. He did in round 1, but he couldn't do it after round 1. Shit, that would be a split decision. That would be a split decision. You know what? My prediction is it'd be a split decision. And it'd be a robbery and they'd pick Usman. No, they'd pick Hamzat. They'd pick Hamzat. It'd probably be in Abu Dhabi or something. Hamzat would win a split decision. Big Boars MMA, what's up? What's up? I think Usman would win at welterweight, but I don't know about middleweight. Yeah. Yeah, Usman at welterweight. At middleweight, I think it'd be close. But I think just the judges would give it to Hamzat. I don't know. Yeah, Hamzat wins a decision. Bro, tell me about it. I run a farm and my brain is constantly melting. And I'm always on verge of snapping at times, I feel. Florida men are only crazy because of the heat and 100% humidity, I swear. Yeah, that sun makes you 10 times crazier than what you are. Damn right. And yeah, running a farm, that's work. Especially in the heat like that. Running a farm without a breeze? Yeah, 100% the heat makes you crazy. And even no matter where you live, look at roofers. Roofers are crazy. They're up in the sun all day. You think Dana White went to a Diddy party? Yeah. Why not? Why not? I'd say the odds are higher on that than rather than he didn't, you know? There's higher odds that he did. Dana's a gambling man. Yeah. Big odds that he did, probably. You know, John Jones walked out to a song by P. Diddy. I forgot what fight it was. Oh yeah, the song I'm Coming Home. Sean Combs is in that song. John Jones walked out to it. I forgot what fight. Dana was for sure Diddy'd out. Yeah, he seems like it. I mean, he aligns with all those values, right? Yeah. Yeah, Dana White, the odds are in the favor that he did. To put it in gambling terms. Jones did, especially after what we've seen with Hasbulla. Oh, absolutely. That's a subtle tell. Coming Home. Yeah, the song was Coming Home by Sean Combs. And Jones walked out to that song. I wish what fight was it? Look up all his fights, his recent fights. He walked out to I'm Coming Home. Maybe it was against Glover. Fuck. That explains it. Did he actually? Yes, he did. He did. Google it. John Jones walks out to Sean Combs' walkout song. What's your pick for Islam versus JDM? Well, everyone is picking JDM, and that's not a bad pick, but I think Islam can control him on the ground. I think Islam can control him on the ground. Not saying I'm rooting for Islam, but I can definitely see Islam being strong enough to hold Jack down. Not saying he's going to tap him out, but I can definitely see Islam Makhachev being strong enough. We'll see if he has the size. He's putting on weight. If he can do that right, I think he's going to be strong enough to hold Jack. I think JDM can get out-wrestled here. What do you guys think? I think I'm picking Islam as of right now. It's a scary fight. It's a scary fight. Caden at UFC 197 he did. Oh, good. Yes. That was against OSP. John Jones versus Owen St. Preux. All right. Good research. John versus Hasbulla. Pillow rematch number 2. Damn, yeah. Whoever buys that pay-per-view, shit. They need to get checked out. I'm sure that's the only fight he wants. I'm sure that's the fight he wants at the White House. Hasbulla. JDM. Everyone's picking Jack. I know it. Everyone's picking Jack. Not a bad pick. Knees up the middle. Pressure. Nasty body shots. He's way bigger than Dustin Poirier. He's how many pounds heavier? 15 pounds heavier? Yeah, I think Islam will nullify JDM scrambles. Islam easily submitted Moicano, who's a good grappler. He did. He did. My gut and heart say JDM, but back of brain says Islam. Ooh. That's why I love this fight. This is a true super fight. It is. I'm going Islam right now. If I had to pick right now, I'm picking Islam. No rigging involved. I'm picking Islam. Jones would whoop Aspinall. So John Jones is dumb enough to turn down 30 million bucks? An easy 30 million? I feel like if Jones could whoop Aspinall, he would have accepted the 30 mil. No way I'm picking a guy that went to a split decision with Kevin Holland. and Hafez. Oh yeah, Jack went to split decision with Holland. Holland had some moments. Look, Jack's good. Islam struggled against Poirier a little bit. But I think Islam has enough experience and good enough grappling and the strength to control Jack on the ground. Jones and Dana have done some things, some Hollywood things. Yeah, absolutely. John Jones and Dana. Dana's never even done this for Conor. Dana will do anything for John Jones. For the longest time, I thought Conor was the most spoiled, privileged fighter. I thought, because he's the biggest star, I thought Conor McGregor gets the best treatment. No, John Jones gets the best treatment. It's crazy. For some reason, I had no interest in Ilya versus Islam. I'm much more excited for JDM versus Islam. Damn, that's crazy. I'm way more pumped. I would be way more pumped for Islam versus Ilya. Way more on the line. We're talking Georgia, the Georgian versus the Dagestani rivalry there. We're talking Islam is cocky as hell. Ilya's even cockier. Habib would be talking to Ilya. Ilya would be talking to Habib, and it'd be good. But yeah, Jack versus Islam's a good fight too. Same. Jack versus Islam, much more interested. Plus, I like Paddy versus Ilya. What's going on here? What's going on here? Islam versus Ilya. To me, that would have been the biggest fight of the year. Only second to Jones versus Aspinall. It was almost at the same level as Jones Aspinall. Ilya versus Islam would be so exciting. I mean, that's a million pay-per-view fight right there. Because the Georgian versus Dagestani rivalry is kind of brewing. Ilya, he's well-rounded. He has striking and knockout power. Islam's been KO'd before. That's a fight. That's $1 million pay-per-view right there. Or 1 million buys. 30 million. Bullshit came out Ariel Helwani's mouth, bro. Neither Dana nor John said anything about the 30 million thing. Okay. Let's say it was 20 million. 15 million. Shit. Decline that? For a one-trick pony? For a guy who only has a 1-2? Sounds like easy money. I would take the easy money and keep my reputation good rather than duck and dodge. Hey man, I just want to say your channel is awesome and your Company Men video was a masterpiece. All videos are bangers. Cheers, bro. Cheers, bro. Yeah, the Company Man tier list. That was a good one. Thanks. Thanks. I'm coming up with the even better tier list next time. You're going to like it. But thanks, bro. Thank you. Cheers to that. Dana said they agreed to 30 million. Turkey paid up. Well, there it is. It was a shit ton of money to fight a one-trick pony. A quitter. A quitter. John Jones could have made him quit in 2 seconds and took 20 million home. What a dumb decision. Why would John Jones make such a dumb decision? Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump, said he wants John Jones at the White House. Of course he does. Listen, I don't think there's going to be a normal crowd at that White House card. I think it's going to be a billionaire party. Call me crazy. But I don't think you're going to see 9-to-5ers with beers in their hands. Huge hardcore fans of the sport. I think you're going to see nothing but Hollywood famous celebrities in the crowd. Or old billionaires. John ducked. Man, they need to invent a new word. What he did was even beyond ducking. It was stalling, ducking, running, corrupting, lying. Yeah. Saying he ducked, you know, that's an understatement. Call me a conspiracy theorist. But I think that the fix could be in Islam round 1 submission. We got to question a lot of things now. We got to question everything now until UFC proves us different. But I think Islam's going to win. But I hope it's not a round 1 submission. I want to see a fight. I want to see a back and forth Volkanovski versus Islam #1 type fight. I want to see a back and forth fight. I want it to go at least 3. Vivek loves himself some John. And I'm sure John would love himself some Vivek. Yeah, he'd like some vodka and some Vivek. V and V. But hopefully for Vivek's sake, that hopefully never gets in proximity of John. Before Gane versus Aspinall, who did you think was going to win? Aspinall, absolutely. I had no reason to believe Gane was going to win. I just knew it would be uglier than Jones versus Gane. I knew it would get a little ugly. But I thought eventually Aspinall would get the takedown and go to work on the ground. But I knew it wouldn't be like the John Jones victory because, that fight was probably, fixed allegedly. Yeah, I agree. John made the wrong decision. Yes, he did. That was the biggest fight of the year. Number 2 biggest fight of the year on paper would be Ilya Islam. And I thought the number 3 biggest fight of the year on paper was Hamza versus Dreykus. Which ended up being the only fight out of the big 3 that happened this year. But yeah, I like Jack versus Islam. It's a good altar fight. I was telling so many people that Gane would win. And they said I was picking him to be different. It's not a bad pick. I mean, that was only Cyril Gane's 4th title shot. The dude has more title experience than Aspinall. Most of that's because of privilege. It's crazy. He's going to get his 5th. So, yeah. I would expect the guy to be good by now. He's had nothing but title fights. Except his 2 before this fight. But, yeah. He's about to get the 5th title fight. So, yeah, he's getting good. He's rewarded with all the title shots. I agree, though. Not a bad pick. Well, he actually didn't win, but I knew Gane was going to do better than a lot of people were saying. For sure. The John Jones fight, you can't do that. That's not going to happen, That was way too easy. Hard to believe. Is Roman Kopylov safe for the parlay, brother? I was just watching his last fight. I don't think so. He got dropped by Costa. He got mollywopped with body kicks. I just watched that fight an hour ago. He got rocked with the right hand like 3 times. He's kind of gun shy. It's going to be tough against RoboCop. He didn't look good in his last fight, I'll say that. The middleweight Chase Hooper, Roman Kopylov. Definitely have to question everything, that's for sure. Absolutely. I want the reporters to question Dana White next press conference he's at. Watch him give him the most softball questions possible. They're not going to say shit. Keep an eye out for the weasel reporters the next time Dana White's at a fight card for the post-fight. They're going to ask him the most softball questions about this betting stuff. And they're going to let him just breeze past it and say, yeah, we got it covered. That's the only fight that's ever been rigged. Nothing to look at here. I know nothing about it. You know, he's going to brush it off. Do you think NFL is fixed? Odds are more likely it's fixed than it's not. I could definitely see NFL being rigged. For sure. For sure. The play clocks, the refs. Questionable calls at Super Bowls. What was the fight or card that made you a diehard fan? Mine was Conor vs. Jose back in 2015. Never missed an event since unless I couldn't help it. Not a Conor fan now, but that was just the card for me. A diehard fan? Okay, not just a fan, but a diehard fan. It was John Jones versus Daniel Cormier. John Jones versus Daniel Cormier, the first fight. I was so caught up in that rivalry in the fight where John Jones pushed Dave Shaw into the fucking curtain, knocked him over, and him and DC were scrapping. They were fighting at the MGM Grand. That's the card that made me a diehard fan. Yeah. So that was UFC like 183. Or 182. UFC 182. I thought it was so strange that people are writing off Gane. Gane gave Ngannou a tough fight. Yeah, Ngannou had injured knees, but that version of Ngannou is more dangerous. He gave Ngannou a tough fight, yeah. He used to spar with Ngannou. They used to spar, so. And I seen the sparring, and Cyril Gane, you know, he had like the cleaner striking. He's just not as imposing as Ngannou, I guess. He's more. He doesn't have the power of Ngannou. But yeah, weird. Ngannou, yeah, he was a tough fight. He's a tough fight. Yeah, Cyril Gane's good. He's good. That John Jones fight definitely needs to be in question. That was a good-ass fight. Costa versus Roman. That was a great fight for Costa. I think I know what Paulo Costa's... Why am I calling him Costa? I call him Costa usually. I think I know what his next fight's going to be. He's going to fight Izzy Adesanya. I think we're going to get Paulo Costa versus Izzy Adesanya number 2. Early next year. And then they're going to do Strickland versus Fluffy. Used to watch Pride events with my dad, but wasn't really fully invested until UFC 194. Conor was the biggest thing in MMA. I mean, that was the craziest time, and it'll never happen again. I'm glad I got to witness it. All the pressers, even before that. The UFC 189 World Tour. I was watching him when he was talking shit to Dennis Seaver when he had like 500k Instagram followers only. I think, yeah, I've been a fan of him since he had like only 500k Instagram followers. Yeah, UFC 194 though. I'm surprised you weren't invested after 189. He was supposed to fight Aldo at 189. They had a walkout song. They had live performances. The only time ever the UFC ever had a live performance. I think UFC, you know what? I liked UFC 189 better than 194. That card also made me a diehard fan, even more. 189. That was crazy. You got Alkmaar or Topuria? I think Beksat will flatline him. Alexandre Topuria? Is that confirmed? Oh, it is. Oh, damn, that Hooker Armin fight night stacked. That's stacked. Okay, that's a good fight to add there. Let's go Alexandre Topuria. I'm guessing Ilya's been training with him. You know, I'm guessing Ilya's been taking his anger out on him in the gym after what's been going on with Ilya in his love life or whatever. I'm sure Ilya's been pissed. I'm sure Topuria's going to win, his little bro. But you got Beksa. Okay. Tell me why. Why is he going to flatline him? You saying Alexandre Topuria is too predictable? That Qatar event is stacked as hell. UFC Qatar is stacked as fuck. Ian Gary Bilal in the co-main event, right call. I think Armin vs. Hooker is the better main event. That's a fire co-main event. Bilal vs. Gary. He's got the touch of death. Alright, good, good. I want to see a fight. The more competitive bantamweight is, the better. Honestly. Now, that'll really make Topuria pissed. You think he's pissed now because of his fiance or whatever. Imagine how he'll feel if his brother loses. Shit. He needs to book a fight. I mean, honestly, no one deserves it. But Armin deserves it if he wins. But if I had to pick between Paddy or Gaethje, I don't know. I don't feel like Paddy... I feel like Paddy doesn't deserve it. I don't know if Paddy should get the title shot for inactivity. Like, he might be less active than Gaethje. So, but yeah, that's a stacked fight night right there. Fuck. Let me see what the rest of that card's looking like. And that's the week after 322. Let's see here. Alright, Sarukian Hooker. Muhammad vs. Gary. Ozdemir vs. Alonzo Menafield. Hey, not the most skilled, but that should be a scrap. Those guys are going to throw it down. That's going to be a knockout. The Joker on there, Jack Hermanson. Okay. The Blob, Gaziev versus Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak's going to get knocked out by the Blob. So we got that. Alex Perez on there. Oh yeah, he's fighting the guy from Kazakhstan. Tiger's on there. The Russian Dagestan guy. Yep, Topuria. That's a stacked fight card. That's stacked. Spivak and Gaziev gonna be a clown show for sure. Yeah, hey. There's gonna be a knockout. Alright? There's gonna be a knockout in this one. I don't think there's gonna be stalling. I hope there's no stalling in that one. We need a good heavyweight fight. After we got that boring ass Almeida versus Volkov. We need a good heavyweight fight after that. I mean, the last pay-per-view, we got jinxed on the last two heavyweight fights. We had a hug fest, we had a snooze fest on Almeida's part. And then we had an eye poke ending on Gon's part. Who's the biggest blob at heavyweight? Shit. Gaziev. He's the biggest blob for sure. I mean... What's going on at heavyweight right now? We just got Walker who's heel hooking everybody, but he's not a blob. Derek Lewis, he's slimming down and trimming down. Tai Tuivasa, how is he still ranked? Fuck. Yeah, Gaziev. He's definitely the biggest blob. Maybe he should fight Derek Lewis. That'd be a good fight. I want to see Derek Lewis get a fight soon. I don't know what he's doing. And what's interesting is Derek Lewis said he's going to win by first round knockout against Talisan Teixeira when he last fought. And that's what happened. He won by first round knockout. That's why I bet on Derek Lewis first round knockout. But he's the only hope. If you want an American to fight for a belt at heavyweight, Curtis Blades ain't going to do it. All you got is Derek Lewis. I know it seems like most heavyweight fights for a while been disappointing or weird. At least Costa and Walker are out here putting in work. Walter Walker's putting in work. But did you hear what he said? I thought he said he doesn't want to fight any of the tough ranked guys. So maybe he's not confident. I hope Walter Walker's confident because I heard he doesn't want to fight anyone who's ranked and tough. Whatever that means. Look it up. I'm concerned for Tai Tuivasa's health at this point. Obesity plus CTE. Damn. Is he getting fatter than DC? Is he fatter than Cormier? Is he as crazy CTE as BJ Penn? What are we talking here? Cormier's weight? BJ Penn's brain? It's such a crazy world we live in. Roundtree's busting ass at Tiger Muay Thai while Yuri is shadowboxing on a treadmill. Khalil still couldn't beat him. Now in fighting, it's definitely physical. It's a contact combat sport. But Yuri proves how much mental it is. Yuri proves how much mental fighting really is. That's all I gotta say. I mean, he can beat people with more skill than him. He can beat people with more skill than him because he has more grit. He's more fearless. Takes more risks. More violent. So he can beat people who have more skill than him. Because mentally he's more confident. He's more ready to fight. He feels like he's more prepped. It's fucking badass. He's the light heavyweight Tony Ferguson. That's the best way to put it. Tony Ferguson was on a 12-fight win streak. Doing what? The Wing Chun dummy? Running up and down Big Bear Mountain with the fucking weight vest on? Breakdancing? I mean, Tony was on a 12-fight win streak doing that weird Yuri shit. And guess what? Tony and Yuri are two of my favorite fighters. Yeah, like Yuri could have no business winning a fight, but just switches the guy off anyway. I think I live stream reacted to UFC 320. I was fucking freaking out in that third round when Yuri went berserk. I just felt the tides turning. I felt the tide changing. And I just knew Yuri was going to knock him down. He was going to knock him out. He was down 2 rounds. Yuri didn't even give a fuck he was down 2 rounds. He wasn't even worried about the clock. It's crazy. He put so much pressure on Roundtree. I will never forgive the UFC for putting Yuri on the prelims of UFC 300 and Bo Nickel on the main card. No matter what they do, I will never forgive the UFC for putting Bo Nickel on the main card of 300 and Yuri on the prelims. I'll never let it down. They could put 10 stack cards back to back to back to back to back. They could stack 10 cards for Paramount. Still won't forgive them. Thank God they got bullied into putting Bo on the prelims this time. Also sucks how many heavyweight prospects have been losing lately. Robelis, Talisan Teixeira, Marcus Buchecha, etc. It sucks, yeah. What do we got here? Just Walter Walker? The fuck's going on? Derek Lewis? I mean, he's already had a title shot. He's not a prospect. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Waldo, he's not even on a win streak. 1-fight win. Volkov. Okay, Volkov. If you don't consider him versus Gane a robbery, or if you consider that a robbery, Volkov's on a huge win streak. Let's say Volkov beat Cyril Gane. He's on like a 6-fight win streak. Give him that Cyril Gane win. That's a win on his record in my book. He's on a 6-fight win streak. I've actually never gone for that mental. I've never gone that mental for a round before. Especially because it would have ruined my year if Yuri lost that fight. I know I didn't even have money on that fight. And I was freaking out. I was fucking tripping. That was crazy. That was probably one of the craziest comebacks in a 3-round fight I've ever seen. It was fucking nuts. That's exactly how I thought the fight would play out too. That's exactly how I pictured it. It's crazy. How is Yuri not in everyone's top 5 favorite fighters? Going into round 3, I was like, nah, we can win this fight. Because he just finishes you out of nowhere. Yeah. I just had a feeling Khalil Roundtree breaks to crazy pressure. I just had a feeling Khalil Roundtree was going to fold to the crazy pressure. And man, he was outspeeding Yuri in the first few rounds. But he couldn't put him away. Khalil Rountree's no Alex Pereira. I'm telling you. Yuri will beat Magomed Ankalaev. He'll beat anybody not named Pereira. An Ulberg fight would be interesting though. Now that could be a pick'em. But I guarantee Yuri beats Ankalaev. He beats Polish Power. Yuri beats... Ulberg's a pick'em, but he beats everyone else except Pereira. Yuri has nothing to prove except maybe beating Ulberg. He just can't beat Pereira. Pereira's got his number. Yeah, you can't change that. Pereira's got his number. He's got him figured out. Pereira's kicks are too devastating for Yuri. He doesn't know if he's going to chop his leg the whole fight or go up top. But I think Pereira should... No, never mind. Should Pereira stay a light heavyweight and fight Ulberg? Before the Gane Aspinall eye poke, I wanted Pereira to move up and fight Aspinall. But now Aspinall has to fight Gane again. So I guess Pereira versus Ulberg? Pereira versus Ulberg or Pereira versus John Jones? I guess that's the question. Ulberg's scared of Yuri as well. I'm convinced of it. He should be. He better. Yeah. Yuri's way more violent than him. Yuri will stalk him down. I don't know how Ulberg reacts if he's getting stalked down. Dominic Reyes just stood there all frightened. Dom Reyes didn't use his athleticism, nothing. Yuri would stalk him down. That'd be interesting. Man, Yuri would spinning elbow him too. He'd be landing crazy elbows over. I could see it now. Yuri would be landing elbows, busting up Ulberg. I need to see that fight. I need to see Yuri slice and dice Ulberg. What do you think of Dana White having to make public statements condemning Bryce Mitchell Even though Dana is supposed to be free speech. I think Dana had to. I probably think Dana doesn't care either way, but Dana has bosses. And Dana had to. There's no way Dana's bosses are going to let that slide. Dana's their little... He's their spokesperson. He's the one that they put in front of the screen. But yeah, I mean, hey, Bryce Mitchell's had 2 fights since then. Bryce has had 2 fights since then. So I'm glad Bryce is still in the UFC. Who should Bryce fight next? He's a bantamweight now. He beat Said Nurmagomedov. Should Bryce get a ranked fighter at bantamweight? Been a fan of the Antenna Man since I first seen him fight. Oh, you're talking about the Samurai Yuri. Yeah, the Antenna. That's the only reason Piera beat him. He kicked Yuri's antenna off his head. I want to see Bryce fight a ranked bantamweight. Let's look at... How about Rob Font versus Bryce Mitchell? How about Rob Font versus Bryce Mitchell? You hella hype for Piotr Jan's title shot or what? I am. Piotr Jan versus Merab. Man. You know what fight I'd be more hyped for? Jan versus Umar. I needed to see that fight before anyone gets a title shot, to be honest. I love Piotr Jan's fight style. He has a sicker fight style than Merab. But I think Merab's got it. I wanted to see Piotr Jan versus Umar. Now that would have proved who's the real #1 contender. But I don't think Umar wanted that fight. Interesting. I don't think Umar wanted to fight Piotr Jan. Bryce is the GOAT. Hey, yo, my Theo Von. What up, what up? Oh, yeah. Yep, I sound like Theo Von, apparently. Without the southern accent, I'm guessing. Who's hyped for Merab versus Piotr Jan? And Pantoja versus Josh Van. What's the better fight? The main or the co-main? Josh Van has a sick fighting style. Josh Van, he's got a sick style. But it would be really crazy, though, if UFC added Tom Aspinall versus Gane to that card, 323. Theo Von would be at the prelims. If they added that fight right now to 323, Theo Von would already be there sitting down waiting. You know? Bro, bring some energy. You be sleeping, huh? Damn, I thought I was. Shit. I got this coffee right here, too. I thought I was screaming at the mic. Guess not. Why is Theo Von? Does he scream louder? Maybe I need to watch a Theo Von podcast. See all the Louisiana energy he's bringing. But yeah, I need to see Bryce fight a ranked fighter. Bryce is the GOAT. He beat an Nurmagomedov. He beat an Olivier. No, who else did he beat? He beat the Brazilians. I mean, he beat the Gracie. Not everyone can say they beat a Gracie and a Nurmagomedov. I'll tell you that. So we need Bryce to fight a big name. I think we need Bryce versus... Fuck it. Give him Rob Font. Give him number 12 in the rankings. Fuck it. Striker versus grappler. Bro, you said you're going to do an NBA. Oh, yeah, we got to do the bare knuckle first, though. Before we get to the NBA, we got to do a bare knuckle first. Like I said, let's get a good bare knuckle going. Maybe Perry. Maybe another big bare knuckle card. We'll see. They screwed over Frankie Edgar, though. That's crazy. They kicked Frankie Edgar off the card. Made up a medical excuse. Redham Day literally sound like someone with special needs trying to pronounce their own name. Redham Day. Redham Day. You gotta say it fast. Redham Day. I hope I'm saying it right. Redham Day? Yeah, I said it right. It's a lot easier than a lot of the UFC names. Fuck. What's the hardest fighter's name to pronounce? Giga Chad. I don't ever say Giga Chad's real last name. I just say Giga Chad. I'm not saying that shit. I'm actually excited for Van versus Pantoja. Right? Pantoja, he's gonna be boxing up Pantoja. Pantoja's striking, it's ugly, but it works. It pressures you and he gets your back and he hits you with the rear naked. But Van's got the crisper boxing and the head movement. He technical brawls. Body shots all day. Those body shots are gonna help Van. Pantoja's gonna have a hell of a time trying to get a takedown. A hard time. Because Pantoja's going to be slipping, ripping to the body. NBA boring compared to UFC. Yeah, I mean, for UFC fans, yeah. Absolutely. The NBA fans, obviously, they're going to say NBA. So mostly the people at Buffalo Wild Wings are going to choose NBA, you know? Those people want to watch football and NBA and put those on the big TVs. And then they just put on the fights on the little TV in the corner. But before I stream or talk about any NBA shit on an MMA channel, I'm going to cover one of the bare knuckles, one of the banger bare knuckle cards. I mean, you got Connor as a promoter there. Shit could get interesting. He can't fight no more, but he's a hell of a promoter. He's fucking way better than Dana White. I'll tell you that. But actually, Perry's fight, that might not even be in the BKFC. Perry's fight might be in the UFC. I heard Perry saying he wants to go in the UFC and fight Nate or some shit. He was saying he wants to fight Nate. So I'm like, I don't know. Perry's got options, I guess. If I'm him, I'm just going to stay in bare knuckle and just keep beating dudes up and making more money. Because Perry, he probably just wants to come back for the White House card, you know? Everyone just wants to come back for the White House card. It is what it is. Oh shit, I forgot I was watching this John Jones interview. Holy shit, I completely forgot about the Jones interview. Alright, let's get back to the mockery, the humiliation.
Burn my village, I can't go on.
He doesn't have the dog in him. Yeah, that kill or be killed.
Immediately quits. Yeah, when he got tapped out with an ankle lock, there was no trying to fight his hand.
Back to the interview, John Jones is talking about, he keeps bringing up, Aspinall got tapped out by an ankle lock. Aspinall got tapped out by an ankle lock. Bro, what up, bro? Redham Day. Bro, Bredum Day wants me to bring more energy. What, you want me to do a bump of coke like John Jones? Have you been watching a lot of John Jones? You gotta stream NBA. How am I gonna bring Cocaine Connor energy streaming NBA? Detroit Pistons suck, right? I'm kidding. I'll never say that about a Detroit team. Do you like NBA better than MMA and UFC? Because, I mean, I think you like NBA the best. Is basketball your sport? When you're at B-dubs, you ask for NBA on the big screen, not the fights? What's going on here? They're 5-2 this season, though. All right, I'll slowly and surely start getting into NBA. Slow and surely. It's just been hard to keep up, but, you know, you never know. You never know. Yeah, man. NBA, I like that. UFC is good. Are you watching the NBA game over... Like, if the NBA game's on at the same time as, let's say... I don't know. Armin versus Hooker. Which one are you choosing? Your favorite team is playing at the same time as UFC Qatar. Which one are you choosing? You can only watch one. I feel like you're choosing NBA. All right, let's hear Jones mock. What's going on with this ankle lock John Jones keeps talking about? Aspinall got tapped out with this ankle lock. When was that? Was that a professional fight? I'm going with my boy Luka Doncic. Well, UFC all the way. I agree, UFC all the way. But like I said, I'll try to keep a little more track. I'll watch it in a few. But yeah, UFC all the way. Even if I do start watching NBA. UFC all the way. NB Gay. They switched the league name? Fuck. That's crazy. NB Gay. A lot of basketball people like watching college too. LeBron James. I'm going to go with NBA. LeBron James. Speaking of P. Diddy parties. LeBron James. I want to see LeBron James. All right, LeBron James versus Colby Covington. What happened? No, Colby's trash now. LeBron James versus a decent welterweight. I want to see LeBron James fight. Who should he fight? LeBron James beats him. He's 6'9", 270. Yeah, but when the skill discrepancy is like this, you know, when the skill discrepancy is like this. Okay, let's talk about middleweights. Sean Strickland versus LeBron James. Sean Strickland, right? Come on. Dreykus versus LeBron James. Come on. MVP would smoke LeBron James. Come on. Did you see Potan's coach is a Freemason? It looks like it. What does he have? Checkered tiles everywhere. The Freemason compass logo all over his gym. Yeah, I believe he is. But I've never heard the words come out of his mouth because, Ariel never asked him that. Ariel would never ask him that. I seen him on the Ariel Helwani interview. But yeah, Alex Pereira. I always thought he was the voodoo man. He's the voodoo man in my eyes, right? Yuri talked about it. Yuri said he's summoning spirits before his fights. What's up with that? Does anyone remember what Yuri said to Alex Pereira? He said, please make it a one-on-one fair fight. What does that mean? He said, please make it a one-on-one fight. Don't add all these spiritual elements. Yuri said this shit. LeBron is untrained in fighting MMA. One punch is all it takes, bro. DDP wins, yeah. Yeah. Any good fighter should beat LeBron James. Not saying if LeBron James starts training, he won't do good, but if he's just playing basketball, forget about it. Yeah, dark magic going on with Poton. Damn. Well, I guess we got Bryce. Bryce, he's going to do his... Bryce is going to make his cross. Is Bryce the only one without dark magic? Bryce the only one who's not using dark magic? What's going on here? I mean, look what Gene Silva was doing. Bryce said he felt dark energy from Gene Silva. Delete your channel. This is cringe. Let's see this guy's profile. Let's see his profile. Oh, he's a boxing fan. Damn. He's a boring boxing fan. Damn. I'll try to make it more boring on this live stream for you, bro, since you watch boxing. You just watch Max Kellerman is what his YouTube channel says. All he watches is Max Kellerman? And this channel's cringe? You watch a paid off, boring ESPN failed broadcast announcer. I'm sorry, John Anik commentated the boxing fights better than him for the Canelo Alvarez fight. Bro, he $1 billion worth, so why would he care? LeBron? I'm sure he would care if he got his ass beat and it hurt. No matter how rich you are, shit. There's a reason they're not stepping in the cage. The Rock would get whooped too. Nate Diaz versus The Rock. Predictions. Nate Diaz strangles him, in my opinion. Nate Diaz chokes him out. And I want to know this. Nate Diaz versus The Rock. I got Nate Diaz by strangulation. Taps him out. And Mike Perry versus... Who was that guy talking shit about Mike Perry? What's that Hollywood actor fighter's name? Yeah. Michael J. White. Who wins? Mike Perry or Michael J. White MMA? Did you see McGregor did an interview with Tucker Carlson at a Freemason temple? Yeah, I saw it. He was making that hand sign too with his hands. He kept throwing up that symbol with his hands. I seen it. McGregor's been throwing up that symbol for actually a while now. You know? He's been throwing up that Freemason symbol with his hands for a couple years now, since like 2015. Interesting. I don't know. Connor says otherwise on his Instagram, you know, but Could be putting on an act. Boxing is such trash. Bro needs to delete his taste in sports. Yeah, he's going on all the MMA channels right now saying, delete this channel, it's cringe. You guys need to wear gloves. Don't shoot takedowns, no elbows, no shins to the temple, no kicks, no knees, no clinch, no trips, no spinning moves, no chokes. Bro, what's the Freemasons? They're the opposite of Bryce. Their favorite number's 33. Yeah, I don't know, just do some research. Do some research. I don't think it's hard to find. But yeah, I would say the best definition is they're just bad news. Bad news. Oh yeah, because we're talking about McGregor and shit. Let's just say maybe it's a club and you're not in it. Call it that. It's a club that you're not in. What do you mean, bro? I don't know, man. Just look it up. I don't want to have to get the tinfoil hat on now. I would say it all, but I lost my tinfoil hat. Khalil is in the club. Sean Strickland's words. Sean Strickland said Khalil is in a cult. Sean Strickland said it, not me. Look it up. I remember Sean Strickland said that. But yeah, surface level research, yeah. Khalil is in the club. I have been hearing that. I have been hearing that. What's up with that? Even Sean Strickland said the same thing. Khalil, shit. I think he's done. I think Yuri ended him. Took too much damage. You know what? How'd you lost your hat? Oh, my Raw hat? Oh, I didn't lose it. I'll bring it back. If that's even what you're talking about. Is that what you mean? Oh, the tinfoil hat. I put it on for my UFC allegedly fixing fights video. Then I just tossed it somewhere. I don't know where it went. It's my excuse for not explaining what a Freemason is. I don't have my tinfoil hat. It's just my excuse for not explaining what it is. But what was I was going to say something about Khalil. I think he's done. I think he's toast. Yuri gave him too much damage. He's done. I mean, maybe a fight with Dominic Reyes? Khalil's done. And he was a good fighter, too. He was a good fighter, but he took way too much strikes. He ain't going to be confident again after that fucking Yuri fight. No way. Where is he in the rankings, Khalil? Oh, he's number 4? I don't see him winning his next fight no matter who it is. That was a bad loss. For real. Bro, I'm 15. How am I supposed to know the sarcasm of an adult? Oh, apologies. No, you don't have to know the sarcasm. It's all good. It's all good. I honestly lost it, though, too. I was being sarcastic, but legit at the same time. I honestly lost it. Because it's not important. I just threw it somewhere. I'll find it. But yeah, let's talk MMA. Let's talk MMA and skill and fighting. You know? He gave it to his cats. Yeah, let's talk MMA and fighting. Because we got off the rails for a second here with the McGregor, you know. With all the McGregor stuff and the D. Devlin stuff. Actually, no one brought up D. Devlin. But maybe she's behind Connor's craziness. Is D. Devlin behind all of Connor's craziness? Or is she just some victim who's married or engaged to this madman? You smoke, bro. Here and there. Here and there. But I'm not Carlos Prates. I don't smoke that. Not the stuff that Carlos Prates smokes. Hey, we're going to see the cigarette man pretty soon. One more week. Carlos Prates, he's going to be fighting Leon Edwards. Does Leon have a shot in that fight? I'm going to make my prediction video soon. I just want to know if anyone thinks Leon Edwards has a shot in that fight. It's going to be a striking fight. I have a weird feeling. I know Prates is better. But you never know. You married? No, are you? I'm not married. How about you? Damn, no fight questions in a minute. But yeah, we got a lot going on. It's just we got these bullshit Apex cards going on that we got to suffer through. But, you know, we might get another crazy headline after this weekend's Apex card. We could have 10 more fucking eye pokes. We could have 20 groin strikes per fight. Yeah, to a 15-year-old. Oh, okay. I forgot. I already forgot. Oh, my bad. My bad. I'll remember now. Just waiting till UFC 322. I swear. I'm counting the days down. You know what, though? I'm getting skeptical. That might be the word. I'm getting very skeptical because I feel like UFC 322 is too good to be true. I feel like this card's too good to be true. Why does this card look like it's not legit? This is a perfect fight card. UFC doesn't make good cards like this anymore. You know? When's the last time we had a banger card like this good, from top to bottom? You know? We got JDM versus main event. We got the best women's fight on paper in UFC history in the co-main event. Shevchenko versus Wei Li. Super fight. One of the only Americans who has a legit chance of being a champion right now. Sean Brady. Versus Michael Morales, someone who just floored Gilbert Burns. Featured fight. Edwards versus Prates. Second fight on the main card. Benny Dariush. Benny is fighting BSD. Who just killed the fighting nerds. Benoit Saint-Denis. The UFC listened to me and all of us and put Bo Nickel on the fucking prelims. This just seems like too good to be true. I hope it stays like this. I'm just saying I hope the card stays like this. Bubble wrap all the fighters. Bubble wrap everybody. Bo Nickel in the featured prelim. That's fucking awesome. That's a good main event prelim. Bo Nickel versus Rodolfo Vieira. Jiu-Jitsu versus wrestling. We got the middleweight Chase Hooper versus RoboCop prelim. Banger. Tracy Cortez versus Blanchfield. For the people that like Cortez. Wellmaker. A killer knocking out everybody. I mean, GM3's going to get knocked out again. Hamzat's teammate Susakayev. I haven't seen a card this good in a long fucking time. 320 was good. But just like Anthony Smith, on paper, I think this one might be better. On paper. This is a stat card, you know. Shit. Bubble wrap all these motherfuckers. Everybody. The only fight I don't care about. The only fight that's a piss break is Angela Hill versus Fatima Klein. Like, when's the last time we had a fight with, like, only one piss break? A fight card like that. And you know what? They're really making you watch from the first fight. For the very first fight. Because it's not a women's fight. That's the first fight on the early prelims. It's that undefeated Susakayev. Hamzat's friend. He's the very first fight. So you gotta watch the whole card they're making you. Besides the main event, what do you think the people's main event is? What would you call the people's main event on this card? Aside from the actual main event. Damn. I'd say Prates versus Edwards. Leon has a chance, though. You know, I got Prates, but I think Leon, he's got a chance. He's got a chance, style-wise. Oh, yeah, back to the Jones interview.
There were no trying. He immediately.
You see the pattern of it. Yeah. And I noticed the profile pic change, and then you had some on your horse, too, similar.
Yeah.
What's with that?
Oh, my God. And back to the Jones interview. Now this guy's glazing John Jones about his Instagram profile picture, about, like, the eye patch duck, and how badass that is.
Just having fun.
You having fun with the eye patch?
I was having fun with it. Yeah. It's like, you know, he had at it with me. He had a one time coming at me. So it's to keep the fans engaged.
Of course.
It's just to keep them.
Damn, John Jones is saying Aspinall had it coming, that badass profile picture with the duck with the eye patch. He had it coming. He was going at me for a long time. When was Aspinall going at Jones? He was being too quiet, in my opinion. He was being too quiet about it. Damn, John Jones is delusional. Remember when he went up to Stipe and said, "Don't bring up my kids"? And Stipe never talked about his kids. Delusional. Edwards, the new sacrificial lamb. Is he? You know what? I got Prates, but style-wise, Leon Edwards has a chance. That's what makes this fight alright. We can't say, like, I'll say 70-30. 70% chance Prates got this. 30% chance Edwards. If I had to say. Angela Hill and Fatima Klein, stoked as fuck. I can't wait. I can't wait for that one. Where is it? Second fight on the early prelims. Second fight on the early prelims. Let's fucking go. Angela Hill. Let's just call her Over the Hill. I mean, how old is she? I can't wait for Fatima Klein versus Angela Hill. I mean, is it going to be a striking fight, a grappling battle? Like what? What's going to happen? But I like how they just put Susakaev versus Mikhaniko as the first fight. You have to watch the card from start to finish. Hello, FBI. The FBI, yeah, Dana, they're with Dana right now. Kush, what's his name? Kush Paddle. They're his friends. The FBI is Dana White's friends. They're gonna do nothing about any of this to him. Dana White's gonna not get in trouble. Definitely not. The FBI guys go to the fights. Dana gets them tickets. Why would they arrest him for what he allegedly did? Stipe was so confused when John said that. It was hilarious. Oh yeah, when John Jones said, "Don't talk about my kids," when they were having a face-off, Stipe's like, "I never talked about your family." John Jones is such a sensitive, insecure fighter. He's the most sensitive and the most insecure. That was hilarious. Okay, bro, I'm gonna go to school. Bye. Peace out, man. Have a good day. See you at UFC 322. See you for the UFC 322 live stream. Make sure to tell everyone to like and subscribe, alright? Is it bad I don't watch any women's fights? No, it's not bad. Kush Paddle. Kush Paddle, right? Man, the guy who looks like he's under MK Ultra? That lizard looking dude? Yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, the FBI is totally gonna do something about UFC rigging totally. The FBI ain't gonna do shit. They're Dana White's friends. Kush Paddle's always in the crowd. For what Dana allegedly did, he ain't gonna get in trouble. And is it bad, to answer that question, is it bad you don't watch women's fights? No, because they're mostly boring. And a lot of the women don't look like women, so it's not bad. It's not bad. But on paper, I guess Shevchenko versus Weili's interesting. On paper. But yeah, Kush Paddle isn't going to do anything to Dana White. Nothing. And the only women's fight you might have to watch is the co-main event. And maybe, I don't know. I think MMA Guru and all those people like Tracy Cortez, right? Bro, he arrested NBA players, bro. Kush Paddle, okay. Maybe he did. You know who he really needs to arrest. The Island Boys. But yeah, anyway, yeah, okay, he arrested NBA players. Congrats to him. Cash Poodle. That's it, right there, yeah. Cash Poodle is just avoiding Epstein files at all costs. Yeah, so round of applause for Kush Puddle. What's his name? Kush Puddle? Round of applause for Kush Puddle for arresting a couple NBA players. I wouldn't have known about it. Actually, I heard about it through the grapevine, but thanks for telling me. I just don't think anything's going to happen here. Dana's going to cover it up. He's buddy-buddy with the FBI. What's Epstein, bro? You gotta be trolling me right now. The only thing I know is that's Trump's friend. That's it. That's all I know. He's Donald Duck's buddy. Cash Poodle, what a name. Yeah, that guy goes to the fights. I see him in the crowd. They put the camera on him like anyone wants to see him. In his beady eyes, that dude looks like a lizard. Kush Patel. Kush Paddle. Damn, what a horrible name. Oh yeah, the John Jones interview. These guys keep glazing him. I keep pausing it.
It's fun.
And you talk about a lot about, you know, you're still writing your story. Does the perfect story end with the White House fight and riding off into the sunset?
I hope so, man.
What about some movies? I want to see him.
Nah, he's an insult to the lizard community. Yeah, he's an insult. Yeah, he definitely is. He's an insult to that and a lot of other things too. Kush Paddle. Fuck, marry, kill Valentina, Alexa Grasso, Paige Van Zant. Mine are in order. Is that your tier list? You should come out with a tier list vid, man. Wow. You think Dana got the Zuck? I forgot everyone was saying that to Dana on his live stream. What does that mean? Wasn't everyone annoying Dana to death? And they were saying, Dana, you got that Zuck? Dude, I don't even know what the fuck that means. What does that mean? I saw people kept commenting that on Dana's live stream or whatever. What the fuck is that?
I know you're acting.
I definitely love acting.
Yeah, you're good at it.
You know what? I do feel like a little bit of a natural at it. Maybe I'm not.
John Jones is like, oh, I'm going into movies. I love acting. Yeah. You're a professional actor. We know that. John apologizes to Dana White?
I have skill in this.
What a pussy.
But
He's just sucking up for the White House card. Man, he's definitely going to be allowed on it.
and I'm forever grateful to let bygones be bygones and get back to the places, just apologize to him, and so that we can let bygones. I wish that I could see him face to face and just apologize to him, and so that we can.
He said, I want to see Dana face to face and apologize to him. He's not even saying, but about what? What for?
Let bygones be bygones and get back to making some major money for the sport and really entertaining these fans.
He's a businessman, and there's no doubt that you are his favorite fighter of all time. There's the memes of it. He loves
Yeah.
it. Portugal.
Anytime.
I'll tell you guys a story.
Yeah.
So real about it. That is very like, you know what? It's all good.
He was a scary cat. He was a kid. Let's go, Habibi.
Wait, I'm skipping to the end of the video and it says the outro. It labeled the outro as a Tom Aspinall diss. What does that mean?
He's always lean. He's always positive. Let's have fun.
It's been an honor.
Thank you,
Let's
John.
have some fun.
Oh,
Thank you
come
so
on,
much.
come on. It's been a long time coming. Me and you going out too, so let's do it.
Thanks, G.
Let's go, Habibi.
Habibi.
Shukran.
What? They're all going out? They're like, John, let's go out. Those guys are going out and about with John Jones? Are these guys asking for a death sentence? Those guys are going out to drink with John Jones? Are they crazy? They're going to end up like that motorcycle guy. That's fucking crazy. Smash Ronda Rousey, bro. Derek Lewis. Calling Derek Lewis. Where Ronda Rousey fine ass at? Remember every time after Derek Lewis won. Where Ronda Rousey fine ass at? Oh, that's hilarious. Isn't she with Travis Brown? And apparently Mark gives people the zuck. But I will give Ronda Rousey does actually look like a woman. Unlike most fighters in the women's division. Let's just say that. But apparently Mark gives people the zuck. That sounds horrible. What the hell? Sounds like Izzy. That sounds like something Izzy Adesanya would enjoy or something. That sounds like something Peyton Tabbitt's into, right? That sounds like a John Jones thing as well. Would you smash Ronda Rousey, bro? She looks like a woman compared to the rest of the roster these days. You know, definitely looks like a woman compared to the rest of the roster. Have you ever seen Amanda Lemos? Jessica Andrade? Oh my God, bro. It's like, how? I don't see one feminine feature on you. Kayla Harrison? Did you ever see the Kayla Harrison John Cena memes? Ronda looks like a crazy cat lady. I'll give her this. She looks like a woman. I can't say the same about Andrade and a lot of others. I wouldn't touch any of those things. I would have to stay at distance. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you start walking past those Chris Cyborgs or Vanderlei Silva in a wig, I mean, we've seen John Cena in a wig. We've seen Vanderlei Silva in a wig. What is next? What is next? Bro, Nina drama is for the streets. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. How many fighters has she visited? I seen the video with her and Armin, where Armin was like putting a knife up to her neck. That was some weird shit going on. And then the Alex Pereira video in the back of the car. More weird shit was going on. And then the thing she's got going on with Sean Strickland. Bro, when does it stop? And then John Jones? John Jones enters the picture? And her boyfriend's the cameraman? Something's weird. She's an industry plant. And everyone... Yeah, she's a... she's something, alright. What the fuck? Bro, Strickland is a weirdo. Strickland had some funny disses to Izzy, but he's back and forth and he sways his opinion left and right and he just says shit. He kind of just throws shit at a wall and sees what sticks. You know? It was funny when he called out some reporters, but man, he's just too off the rails on Twitter. He'll say anything. But yeah, he always tries to act like he's like Nina Drama's brother or something. I don't wish that on my worst enemy, bro. What, Nina Drama? Dude, she's probably like a witch. She's probably a captain at the freak-off parties with John Jones, allegedly. I'm saying this for entertainment purposes only. I'm sure Nina Drama, alongside John Jones, are captains of the UFC freak-offs. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Nina would be like feeding a whale a Tic Tac, throwing hot dog down the hallway. Yeah, like a sloppy ham sandwich. And Sydney Sweeney too for the hoods, bro. I heard of Sydney Sweeney. Is she? She's not in the MMA world, is she? Joe Rogan also was at the freak offs. I believe it because every week on his podcast, he talks about, I hate to say it, talks about a lot of gay corn. To put it lightly. Gay corn. It rhymes with corn. He's always talking about watching gay corn. I mean, there's like countless Joe Rogan clips of him and like his comedian friends, and he's like talking about the first time he's watched it, and then he talks about watching Transformer corn. Like, what the fuck is this guy on? And he's friends with a lot of Brendan Schaub and a lot of questionable characters. I don't wish Nina and Sydney Sweeney upon anyone, bro. Good. You're a good guy. You're a good guy, yeah. No one needs no one needs that dumpster material. You are right. I don't get the appeal. You're right. I mean, they've been passed around more than like a Wiz Khalifa joint. Let's just say that. They've been passed around more than a Wiz Khalifa joint. It's just... That's the only promotion UFC gives now. That's all they have to offer. Industry plant Nina Drama. She gets all the big fighters to do her interviews. She gets Aspinall in her interviews. Everybody. For what? To ask them who will you bring to a fight during an alien invasion? That's what she asked the fighters. I don't give a fuck who they're going to bring with them to the fight if there's an alien invasion. Stupid questions. I think celebs do rituals with Joe Rogan before the podcast. He even has a creepy werewolf statue. Well, yeah, Joe Rogan, I mean, he was in Hollywood for a while. He is a Hollywood figure. I remember what Joe Rogan said he would give up to know if aliens were real. He was like on a video saying, I'll do anything. Let me know about UFOs and aliens. I won't even tell my mother. Yeah, Joe Rogan. Yeah, I have some questions about Joe. I don't think he's your average Joe, alright? Let's just say that. I don't think Joe is your average Joe. We'll put it like that. I mean, another John Jones lover. I mean, another one of John Jones's boyfriends. Joe Rogan. And I think his podcast would be a lot better if he could take a joke, you know? It's like you're not allowed to make a joke at Joe Rogan. Theo Von tried it. Theo Von made fun of his physique. He said you look like a turkey with netting around it. A stuffed turkey with netting around it. Joe couldn't handle it. He folded. He loves Adesanya and Jones so much. A deadly combo. Yeah, those are his favorite fighters. What does that say? What does that say? A dog lover and a Hasbulla lover. Those are Joe Rogan's favorite fighters. Bro, more than a Wiz Khalifa joint is crazy. That's the best way to put it. I can't think of another way. But yeah. She's a fucking industry plant. You can't get rid of her. Hunter Campbell probably pays her boatloads to ask stupid fucking questions and do stupid TikToks. Imagine what she's doing to keep her job. I don't watch any of her shit. I don't give her no views. Even if the GOAT Bryce Mitchell is on her video, I don't watch. I give her 0 views. Both of them is. Now, is the other one we're talking about Sanko? Or no, Sweeney. Yeah, Sweeney. Alright, so Laura Sanko is holy then, right? She's cool. Bro, Rogan said some diabolical shit about how he wishes he was a woman. And then said some unspeakable shit about why. I never seen that. But that doesn't sound far-fetched from something he would say. He really said he wishes he was a woman? I bet John Jones told him that. Joe, I wish you were a woman. You're my woman, Joe. After the Gene ads, bro, everyone pretty much gets banned, bro. Everyone gets banned. Alright, I'm going to do a few more minutes on this stream. This is hilarious, though. After the jeans ads, bro. Did I miss those ads? What got banned? I'll try and find the clip. I believe you, bro. Trust me, I'm not questioning what you said. I'm taking your word. That is Joe Rogan 101. That's your typical John Jones lover right there. Jeans. Bro, yeah. See Sydney Sweeney jeans ad. Oh. I can imagine. I can only imagine. Speaking of that, the funniest thing is Nina Drama's fans are in the youngest age group. And Nina Drama is portraying a playboy-like image to them. That's all Nina Drama does. And she tries to act so, like, high above. She tries to act so, like, politically correct when look what she's doing. He wants to know what a dick feels like. Joe's gay as F. He wants to know. I bet he already does know. Breaking news. Hot take. Here's a hot take. I bet he already does know. Just a random guess. Yeah. Look up Joe Rogan fantasize about being a woman, and it will be on YouTube Shorts with the same title. Shit is actually diabolical. Well, I'm glad you guys agree that's diabolical. Because I 100% agree. That is diabolical. Bro, what kind of girl is actually goated in a normal picture in USA, bro? Stripping off the Hollywood glitz. Once they go Hollywood, probably not good. Hollywood, not good. That just means you're fake as hell. You know? Fake as hell. But yeah, Nina Drama, her fan base is like the youngest age group. And she does Sydney Sweeney type shit probably, huh? And then disses people like MMA Guru for making Michael Chandler jokes. Can't make this shit up. McDonald's worker. Who said that? McDonald's worker. But yeah, I'm surprised no one's made a video on that Joe Rogan shit. I wonder if it'd get taken down. That'd be a hilarious video idea. Gosh, you can make a fucking compilation video of the weird Joe Rogan podcast moments. You'd have to pick and choose. There's too much to cover. But what about a McDonald's worker? Who said anything about a McDonald's worker? Are we talking about Daniel Cormier's diet? Bro, I think tomorrow you should stream NBA. NBA, wow, what game's going down tomorrow? What big game? Joe is too much up his own ass. Probably not just his own either. Probably not just his own. That shit would get shadow banned immediately. Like anything about Freemasons. I think I'd rather date a McDonald's worker who looks pretty than Hollywood. Oh, I hear you. You'd rather date a pretty McDonald's worker than someone who's Hollywood. That's high IQ right there. You got a high IQ. Anything about Freemasons banned immediately. True. You would have to use a lot of comedy. And you'd have to use a lot of allegedly and a lot of humor. And you'd have to say you're playing a character. Well, that's... Yeah. That would be a goated video, though. That would be. If it didn't get taken down, that'd be great. Orlando versus Bolton Celtics, bro. All caps. All that energy. Orlando versus Boston Celtics, bro. Oh, man. Friday? It's tomorrow Friday? Alright, well, I'll hop on the live stream. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be random. We'll see what happens. What the fuck is Freemason? Just a club of powerful people who can make decisions about things. All right, I'm almost done here. But yes, I am going to hop on the stream tomorrow, maybe. I'm not guaranteeing NBA, though. I mean, this is definitely a MMA channel at its core. You no doubt about that. Why don't you make a video about it, bro? Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Have a good one, bro. I'm tapping out. Sounds like a gay club. It kind of does. I'm tapping out, you know. I'm tapping out. And, yeah. I'll catch you guys soon. I'm tapping out just like that rigged fight. Alright, maybe I'll stream tomorrow, but we got one more Apex card, then we're getting straight to UFC 322. So, I'll catch you guys in the chat soon. Thanks for joining the chat, guys, for real. That Joe Rogan shit was hilarious. Thanks for chatting. Alright, I'm out. Peace.